So our device is called the Magneto 96, and it's a handheld device that's used in a laboratory to isolate DNA or RNA from a sample. It's 3D printed, it's pretty cost effective to produce. It's about 1/10 of the cost of the automated systems that are all imported into South Africa. And the primary reason for designing it was to allow the smaller laboratories to meet the testing demands during COVID. It can also be used for paternity testing, cancer diagnostics, criminal forensics, the list goes on. We are based in Midrand in Johannesburg. We are 3.5 years old now. We're a startup, so our staff complement is small, and we focused on product development since our launch. So all the profits that we've generated since our launch, we've pushed back into R&D to develop new products. We are the only manufacturer of our kind. We're 100% female owned, and we've managed to maintain 100% of equity, which in the biotechnology space is quite difficult. So I was in academia for the bulk of my career. So I'm 11 years post-PhD this year. And when I was in my academic role, one of the primary issues in terms of conducting high quality research is sample throughput, because the more samples you have, the more robust analyses you can conduct, and that impacts the quality of the journal that you can publish in, and all scientists are measured on their publications. And so I spent a lot of my career learning to produce the products that GeneVantage now manufactures in-house in my academic career. And the more I progressed in my career, I realized that there was a big gap in the market in Africa in particular, because everything is imported. And that means two primary things. Number one, the African market is typically always last to receive stock, because our market is much smaller than an American or European market. And our price point is higher because of all the import costs, whether that's air freight fees or import duties at import. And that means that the product in South Africa becomes quite expensive. And so in the academic sector or in the private sector, the labs are limited in terms of the number of samples that they can process, or the cost to the end user is very high. So in the academic sector, the primary focus is on publications, but in the private sector, the focus is on test results. The product that we designed was really designed to be cost effective and quick to print. So it's like an overnight 3D print to produce a new product, and it competes with some of the biggest automated systems in the market. So it's an enormous difference in terms of being able to increase access in different areas. So one of the things about the 3D printed devices is that it's handheld, it doesn't require any electricity, and it's quite easy to use. And so that means a lab technician that's been trained in basic molecular biology can use our device. So for me, my real passion is increasing access to diagnostics in Africa, and that device is designed to do exactly that. In Africa, finding staff, quality staff that have the technical skill has been a challenge. They do exist, they're just harder to find. So what we typically do is find candidates with great attitudes and great energy about them, and we upskill them. I wish I knew when I launched my business how poor the intellectual property framework was in South Africa. We almost applied for a patent in South Africa, and if we did do that, because it wasn't protected in the US or any other African country, any other competitor in the market literally could have just copied our innovation. I'd really like to have had impact in the market in 5 years' time. It's really the reason I do this. So I think in 5 years, the economic growth would be, or the financial growth for us would be exciting, and the size of the team would be exciting. But I think more having impact in the market, particularly in the health sector, would be extremely rewarding. South Africa has a phenomenal set of talent. And I really think if we just keep pushing, we really have an opportunity to contribute massively to the economic growth of South Africa as a whole.